Social responsibility and discipline are cornerstones of German society. Sometimes German law seemingly requires you to adopt these principles by things like shutting down shopping on Sundays, so you must organize your life so that you don't need to shop on those days. However, there are some systems in place that seem to rely purely on trusting that you will just do the right thing. So, do Germans?
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie.
And I'm Aubrey.
And we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe. It is no secret that German culture tends to be more focused on the society as a whole, and American culture puts the emphasis on the individual. There can be deep philosophical debates on which is better, but on a much more simple level, these differences sometimes can leave an American in Germany staring at gas pumps in disbelief or wandering the produce section of grocery stores confused and lost. This is because Germany has set up some aspects of society in completely different ways from American systems based on the difference in culture. As we live in Germany and learn more about how they do things here, we like to ask questions like, don't people take advantage of this system? Or is this a better way? Or even, is there a good compromise option? And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today in our video. Honesty is the best policy, but is it always adhered to flawlessly?
Our experiences are definitely specific to where we are originally from, a state in the southern US called Oklahoma, and where we live now in the southwestern German state of Rhineland-Pfalz. Both of these places have their own unique subcultures that may not be representative of the two countries as a whole. Therefore, let us know your experiences with these things in the comments below and where you're from. Also, if you're from a different country than these two, we want to hear about what these things are like where you live. We hope that watching the kinds of videos that we make gives you a better understanding of different cultures other than yours, but truly one of the best ways to really get to connect to a culture is by learning their language. Because of that, we are happy to tell you about today's sponsor, italki. italki offers personalized one-on-one lessons in over 130 languages with professional teachers that set their own pricing so you can find one that suits your budget. With italki, you simply find a teacher that fits your schedule, tell them what you want to learn, and you get customized lesson plans specific to your goals.
And what better way is there than finding a native speaker that can teach you and practice with you? They will help you learn beyond just drilling grammar to actually make you speak like a local and learn to communicate and be understood in your target language. Because of the personalized one-on-one lessons are tailored to you, just 19 hours of lessons on italki is equivalent to a semester in college. So that you can try them out stress and pressure free, italki offers trial lessons starting as low as just €1. Also, to help out our viewers, if you use our special code PASSPORT, italki will be giving you a special buy $10 and get $5 off deal to help you get going to finally achieving your language goals.
One of our favorite displays of the German public trust system is in the spring and summer when self-cutting unmanned flower fields pop up all over the German countryside. They are very self-explanatory. You grab a provided knife, cut the flowers you want, check the price sheet for what you have, and the expectation is that you will just drop however much it is in the can without someone checking you out. These also exist in other forms like some fruit or vegetable fields through the summer or pumpkin fields in the fall. Our specific pumpkin field that we go to has different size sticks that you put next to the pumpkin so you know its price based on its size rather than someone there weighing it and telling you what to pay.
We do know that fields like these exist in some parts of the US, and in fact, we just had one of our good friends who moved back to Washington State text us a picture of herself at one of these fields just a few weeks ago. So these aren't totally unique to Germany, but we personally had not seen one in our part of the US, so it was amazing to find these all over our area in Germany. The onus is on the people picking the flowers to do the responsible thing, and for sure, most people do, but even we have personally seen people who will go out and cut flowers and then just walk off without paying. Was it because they forgot or just wanted to get their girlfriend flowers on the cheap and at someone else's expense? We don't know, but the system, of course, isn't without its opportunity to be taken advantage of. One thing that seems to be different in every country we visit is the way that gas stations operate, and that is particularly true between the US and Germany. In the US, when you pull it to a gas pump, you will always pay first. This means going inside to give the clerk a specific amount of cash, then going back out to pump that specific amount of gas. Or more commonly, you will stick your card in the machine at the pump, authorize payment, and then start pumping however much you want. This often confuses foreigners who ask, how do I know how much to pay before I have filled up? Well, you generally have a good idea of how much it'll cost to get what you need, and therefore you can pay up front in cash to get you close to topping off your tank. But according to GasBuddy, in 2019, only 4% of Americans preferred to pay for gas with cash. 88% of Americans preferred to pay for gas with either credit cards or debit cards, but when you pay this way, you insert your card into the machine and it doesn't charge you right away, but rather holds onto your card information in an encrypted way for security, and then once you are done pumping your gas, you are charged for the amount of gas you pumped, allowing you to fill up completely.
One thing that is common to see at gas stations in the US are stickers on the gas pump that say something like, due to an increased rate of fuel-related thefts, please enter your payment first and then fill up. Because of growing up with this, when we moved to Germany, we were confused on how to fuel because at most gas stations, we couldn't find a place on the pump to stick your card in before pumping our gas. We soon realized that in Germany, they actually have you fill up first and then you go inside to pay for the gas that you pumped. When I first learned this, I immediately thought about that little sticker on many American gas pumps and wondered how Germany has avoided the problem of fuel-related thefts.
Well, Germany hasn't avoided this problem completely. The motto "fill up and run" is part of everyday life at Germany's 15,000 or so gas stations. 79,605 cases of fuel fraud were registered in 2015, according to the nationwide police crime statistics. However, according to our estimates, the number of unreported cases is about 3 times higher than the officially recorded figure, says Karl-Heinz Saschek, board member at the Federal Association of Service Stations and Commercial Car Washes. Some reports also explain that in relation to how high gas prices are in Germany, plus the relative ease of scamming the system, the crime numbers do seem to be rising, but it also does fluctuate with gas prices in Germany. Higher prices, more pump and runs. Lower prices, less pump and runs. In the end, fill up and runs can account for some 30 million euro worth of losses per year for gas companies in Germany, and therefore the gas prices that are already expensive get just a little bit more expensive for everybody as these companies make up for the losses with higher gas prices. Will Germany transition away from this system if this number continues to rise? Time will tell.
Buying fruits and veggies in American and German grocery stores looks nearly identical, except for one very important difference. In American grocery stores, if you're buying fruits or vegetables that are priced by their weight, your produce will be weighed at checkout by the cashier, and then you will be charged based on that. There will often be scales that you can put your produce on in the produce section to see how much it weighs, just so you can know how much it will cost you at the register, but that's their only purpose.
The big difference in most German grocery stores is that when you select the fruits or veggies that you would like, you take them over to the scales that are also in the produce section, but instead, you are weighing the items yourself at that moment for how much you will be charged at checkout. This scale normally prints a sticker with a barcode, and when you go to checkout, the cashier scans the barcode on the sticker and you are charged for that amount without them weighing it. This confuses so many Americans living in Germany when they grab their produce, go to checkout, and the cashier asks them where the sticker is, and they don't have one because they thought the cashier would weigh it. Then they have to embarrassingly hold up the line and run their produce back to the produce section to weigh them, and then run back, which we have done
many times. Recently, I heard someone asking an interesting question. What is keeping you from weighing 3 bananas, but then actually taking 4 after you have already gotten the price? The cashier would probably just scan it and charge you for the weight of 3 without ever knowing you took 4. At the checkout, what counts above all is speed. Goods that have been weighed and labeled by the customer are simply scanned and pushed through at the checkout. Because speed is so important at the cash register in German grocery stores, they operate under the assumption you will be socially responsible and weigh correctly so they don't have to, just like you are assuming they are being responsible and calibrating the scales right to not overweigh the vegetables. However, because this is a known problem and there still is a lot of room for dishonesty, some grocery stores in Germany are moving to cashiers now weighing produce, or modern systems today show the weight that the customer has determined for the goods at the checkout. In this way, the cashier can compare the two values with one another, and this ensures they are not being cheated. For us, it honestly doesn't matter too much, but I would be interested in knowing if anybody has a strong opinion on which system they would prefer.
A common, overwhelming thing among foreigners who have just moved to Germany is the German trash sorting system. We have talked multiple times about the many different trash bins in our home, the fawn system, glass collecting, etc. And one thing that isn't brought up is the fact that, well, that people actually do it. However, there is the black bin. The black bin is reserved for whatever doesn't fall into the plastic recycling, metal recycling, paper recycling, bio bin, electronic waste collection cans, glass bins, fawn system, or whatever other category a specific municipality may have. Normally, this type of trash is thrown into a black bag that you can't see in, so the question becomes, if you don't want to separate your trash, can you get away with just throwing everything away in a black bag in the black bin?
Now, there are systems in place that if you don't separate your trash properly, you can get in trouble. The different German states enforce their own rules and fines, and for example, not properly separating your recycling, which can easily be inspected through a see-through yellow bag, can earn you anywhere from a €10 fine up to over €500 fine in our state, but it can get more than 3 times more expensive in other states. Nothing in Germany differs so widely from municipality to municipality as garbage fees. The disposal of garbage in a 4-person household in a single-family house can cost around €120 or up to €800 per year. The majority of the costs are attributable to the residual waste bin and, if available, the organic waste bin.
Now, that was the flat rate for trash service. If you need additional trash bins or services, those come at a very steep cost as seen in this specific municipality. So with more black bin trash comes more cost to you. So technically, if you eat candy bars all day and don't want to recycle the plastic wrappers for whatever reason, you could throw them in a black bag and bin and not really have any issues for the most part, unless you start accumulating so many wrappers that you need more trash bins. In essence, the trash system is enforceable and is regularly enforced, but there are also ways that you can avoid the system, yet German social responsibility dictates you should separate your trash even if there wasn't a threat of a fine. Just out of curiosity, do you know people in Germany that refuse or doesn't separate their trash as they should and don't receive repercussions?
From not crossing the street when the light is red when children are around, to sorting your trash. One thing we have definitely picked up on in Germany is the high importance put on social responsibility and personal discipline. This emphasis led to some interesting culture shocks that have been exciting to learn about, and we know there are lots of other examples out there that we didn't mention. Leave in the comments below any other differences like this you are aware of, no matter where you're from.
To see who made it this far into the video, rather than a random question of the week, because of the current situation and it weighing heavy on everybody, we want you to share some good news. Have you heard of any good news or had anything positive happen to you recently? Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in our next video.
Cheers!
Authorize payment and then start pumping. However much you want.
I had a tickle in my throat. I was holding it the whole time, so that's good.
Sorting system. We have talked about multiple times.
No, we've talked multiple times.